Hey, Kentucky, welcome back. Time to talk some more topics now. First up, a group of students has been working with an advocacy group to conduct a study on how Kentucky students view life and learning in the middle of a pandemic. One of the project leaders, a high school senior, says many students were more anxious, more depressed, and less motivated because of COVID-19. And she thinks students need to be a bigger part of the conversation about how to return to the classroom. And Keith, I don't disagree with this. In the same way I felt like football players should be involved in how they can safely play the game, students need to be involved in some of these decisions.
I totally agree, because we've talked about before how it just didn't seem to work in the spring the way they were doing it. I'd love to see some students at the schools be able to work with the teachers and tell them what they need. I mean, obviously teachers, they went to school for teaching students. They didn't go to school for teaching students online,
Exactly.
in the way that they've had to do it. So, I mean, it would be a great way to learn from the students.
Yep. It may not be shocking news, but UK researchers are getting the word out that smoking and vaping can make things worse if you wind up with the coronavirus. They say that a recent review of 5 published studies supports the finding that people who smoke have double the risk of severe infection compared to those who do not. And Keith, also, if you eat fast food every single day, for every meal, you're probably gonna gain weight.
Yeah.
I mean,
so you're saying duh?
yeah,
Is
duh.
basically what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't think anything's shocking us here. I think this is a definite thing. If you can try and find a way to quit, do so now.
Absolutely, for a multitude of reasons. The South Lexington Youth Baseball League has suspended its season for 2 weeks to mitigate the potential spread of COVID-19. SLYB has had 3 players and 1 coach test positive since July 27th. Practices and games are expected to resume on August 24th. So 2 weeks, let everyone kind of stay home and try to get better.
This has just become a little bit more worrisome. I was talking with my dad about how before we talked about how it really didn't hit kids, and now we're seeing more and more how it is, and that's becoming a little more concerning. So I'm glad they're able to take a break, and let's see if we can get things under control.
Yep. It seems UK basketball is going after former Louisville commit Bryce Hopkins. Last night we talked about the decision of the number 33 prospect in the class of 2021 to step away from a year-long commitment to the Cards over concerns about possible additional NCAA sanctions. Ironically, outgoing assistant Kenny Payne is apparently the one who reached out to the 6'7" forward. Keith, you got to go after him. He's a great player.
Yeah, so now do we worry about him recruiting to the Knicks? That concerns me now. But how much did they really go after the kid just because he was a Louisville commit that backed out? I wonder if that's a little bit why they went after him. But I think it's probably the fact that he's a pretty good player. So it'd be interesting to see who takes that over now.
And sent Kenny Payne, the Louisville guy who's been at Kentucky for 10 years. That sort of thing. All right,
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it looks like a big target for Coach Cal will not reclassify to 2021. A Rivals recruiting analyst reports that point guard Sky Clark will remain in the 2022 class, limiting Kentucky's options at that position for next year. Last week, Clark announced his final 8 of UK, North Carolina, Michigan, Memphis, UCLA, USC, Tennessee State, and Oregon. Keith, I'm sure the saga's not done yet. I'm sure that at some point we might say he's thinking about reclassifying again.
Yeah, there's a lot of time left. He's a young kid who can always change his mind. But also, I just think Kentucky will be all right. They'll find somebody, and if not, they got Dante Allen, who will have a year under his belt, and he can run point guard.
Yeah, I'm confident in Cal in this way.